Hi everybody, Cynthia here. I'm back with another video, and I have to tell you, I watched a video from Carolina's Crafts, and she showed, she was doing beaded seam binding charms, and she showed tools on her tutorial that to me are a huge game changer for anybody who does beaded charms, like beaded tassel charms. Oh my gosh, it has saved me so much time and effort. These things are amazing. So I'm going to send you over to her channel for the tutorial. She shows a tutorial on how she does her beaded seam binding tassel charms, and I followed her tutorial and I created these two, and I liked them, but like, I love my beading and I loved using the seam binding, but I really have so much stuff in my stash, like trims and yarns and fun fur and different fibers and lace, that I just went crazy, pull all my stuff out, and I will share the ones that I created. But for her tutorial, you definitely have to see it. She does an amazing, easy, step-by-step tutorial on how to create these, and it will help you with all of your other charms as well. Whether your tassel charms, whether you use seam binding or lace or, whatever you want to use. But this tool here is absolutely amazing. I got this on Amazon, and it came in a kit with different lobster clasps, the split rings that you'll need, some of these. Okay, so I got some of these bead caps in gold and silver, and the split rings is what you use this tool with. And let's see if I have a big split ring here to show you. Okay, so here is my lobster clasp and my split ring. And normally, let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Normally, to get this split ring on, I'd have to stuff my nail in here. I'll show you on this bigger one, because that'll probably show up on camera. But there's an opening here, and you'd have to put your nail in there and pull on it to open it up so that you can get your lobster clasp on there. Well, by the time you're done doing a ton of these, your nails are all ripped up, or if you have nail polish on, that's all worn off. And it's really hard to do on the smaller split rings. And I don't, for my tassel charms, I don't use these anymore, these O-rings, because if you pull too hard on the charm, these can open up. So, and she'll show you on her tutorial, but basically you see how this is pointing down? You want to use this for the split ring here, and you just put it in the center and open it up, and see how it opens it for you. And that way, let me see if I can get a lobster clasp out to show you. I'll do it again. Oh, I just lost my thing. I'll do it again really quick, and then I'll show you the ones that I created. But yeah, definitely head on over. That's not the only thing. I'm going to show you these two that she shared, and oh my gosh, amazing. Okay, so you get your tool and you just pop it right in there and open it up, and then you have the circle here that you need to add to it, and you just pop it on. Why can't I see? I have my glasses on. I'm like, I cannot see this little... Oh, you know what? I think this is closed. Oh, there we go. I thought the hole was closed. And then all you have to do is just spin your split ring until it's all the way on. Now for the smaller ones, what I did was I put my pliers in there and I spun it that way. It was just so much easier for me. So now you have that on already. So anyway, I love this tool, and it came in a kit with a bunch of other things. I will post a link below if they still have it. And then she shared these threaders, and they came like this. And there's a bunch of different sizes, but basically you can use these to thread. I guess they're used for sewing. I'm not really sure. Okay, so you're going to pop your things right through here, and then you're going to thread all your beads through here, and it just pulls it right through. It is absolutely amazing. But anyway, head on over, check out her tutorial. She will share all of these tools, and she does a complete tutorial on how to put one of these together. And I just absolutely loved it. But like I said, I think I'm going to take these apart and add a little bit more to them. Like I just did these two here. Okay, so I did this one in silver and pink, and I added white lace, pink eyelash trim, pink tulle, pink lace seam binding, and then there's this other white trim, lace trim. And I guess you could say it's kind of shabby chic, maybe. So I did that one, and then I did one in gold. I'm going to lay them flat so you guys could see what they look like, because me holding them I don't think really does it justice. So here's the regular seam binding, and then here's tulle, white lace, and eyelash trim. And then I did some vintage. So here are my vintage ones. I don't really work with vintage paper anymore. I am going to use up what I have left in my stash, and the ones that I figured I'm never going to use, I donated. But since I've started scrapbooking, vintage was my first thing that I was really attracted to, and I kind of changed into more colorful, whimsy paper, but I wanted to use up what I have. So what I did was I included this lace trim here, the brown eyelash trim, I'll hold it up, beige seam binding, and this one has some like dark olive green seam binding, and then that's my bead. And then this one here did the same thing, but I didn't add that green seam binding to it. I just added extra beige. And then that's my beaded charm. And then I had a bunch of yarn in my stash, so I made all of these. This yarn is kind of really cool because it looks like it has little pom-poms on it, and I wanted to use it up. So I just chose some of the colors that were in the yarn, the yellows, the pinks, the whites, and the greens, and that's what I did with my beading. And I did some in silver and some in gold. So I got those done. And I'll set those aside. And then I also had some black yarn. And this yarn is kind of neat. It's really super thin white, and then it has this like little pom-pom on the end, and then these really thin threads all throughout. And then I took some of this is called Sparkle, okay, it's called Scrubby Sparkle yarn, and I have this in white, orange, black, red, green, and I just wanted to start using it up. So I added some of the white Scrubby Sparkle yarn to those, and then I beaded up my charm. And this one I did in gold, and this one I did in silver. And then of course, I love Halloween. So you know I'm going to do some Halloween themed ones. I saw I had these pumpkin beads and I thought, oh, I'm going to get my... I knew I had some black and orange and gray seam binding. So that's what I did with these. And I added black eyelash trim, gray, black, and orange seam binding. And then I used some of that orange scrubby sparkle yarn. And then that's my beaded charm. Did some silver rondelles and black rondelles in this one. And then the ones that I did in gold, I just used all gold rondelles. But I did the same on the bottom. Okay, let me set these aside. And then, of course, I had to try my hand at some Christmas ones. So I'm going to take this one apart, and I think I'm going to add some like white lace and maybe some of that scrubby sparkle stuff. I have it in purple and white, so I think I'll do that later. But okay, so I had some of these beads in my stash that you kind of connect together, and let me show you what I mean. I have a ton of these in green and in red, and I thought, you know, I really want to start using these. So you basically can put one, it looks like a little flower on top of the other, and they do come in different sizes. Like you could get smaller ones, but these are the same. So I just stuck 3 together and used those as my main large bead. So I did them in green, and then I have them in red. And you pretty much do the same thing. Just kind of layer them on top of each other. Just like that. And then there's the hole to feed it through. So you can, I've gotten these at Joann's, and I think I've gotten them at Hobby Lobby a time or two. But anyway, I made some red ones up top. And that's my beaded charm. And then I used some white seam binding lace, and then some red and green seam binding on this one and this one here. So I did one in gold and one in silver, green and red, or red and green. And then I had some of this stuff. It is gold tinsel trim. So I decided I was going to use that in these, and I'll just lay them out. So this one, I did the green and red on top, the main beads. Gold tinsel trim, white lace, red eyelash trim, green and red seam binding. So that's what I did for those. And that's with the gold trim. And then I got these finished just a little bit ago. And this I used silver rickrack trim. And then I had this tiny white pom-pom trim. I did the red and green seam binding and the red eyelash trim, which is in here somewhere. Where are you at? There you are. Just like that. And I did 3 of those. So that's my project share. Please head on over to Carolina's Crafts and check out her tutorial. It is absolutely amazing, and I appreciate so much that she shared where to get these tools, because like I said, they're a huge game changer for me, and I was able to get so many more done than I would have normally been able to do, because I didn't feel like I was all thumbs. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you head on over, check her channel out, subscribe, and give one of these a try. They're so pretty, and they're easy to do once you get started. Take care, guys. Happy crafting.